Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. Democrat Abigail Spanberger was sworn in as Virginia's governor on Saturday and immediately signed a slate of executive orders. The new administration said the orders focus on public safety, government transparency, and job growth. U.S. forces carried out an airstrike in Syria that officials said killed an al-Qaeda operative. The Pentagon said he was linked to an ISIS ambush that killed 3 Americans. DHS moved to deport 2 detainees who said they witnessed a man die during a struggle with guards at a Texas ICE camp. Lawyers say removing them could complicate investigations into the death. Federal immigration agents and protesters clashed again in Minneapolis after the fatal shooting of Renee Good during an ICE operation. Police said a pro-ICE march was driven off by counter-protesters as tensions remain high. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei blamed President Donald Trump for weeks of protests. A rights group said more than 3,000 people have been killed and internet access was cut again across Iran. A gunman chased a man into Dooky Chase's restaurant in New Orleans, killing him and wounding 3 women, police said. Investigators say it was targeted and are still searching for the suspect. Hundreds of anti-ICE protesters overwhelmed a small pro-ICE rally near Minneapolis City Hall on Saturday, chasing organizer Jake Lang away after a brief brawl. The clash underscored rising tension over the federal immigration crackdown. The Justice Department opened a criminal investigation into Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey after they criticized federal immigration operations. Both said they haven't received subpoenas, calling the probe political intimidation. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. Federal prosecutors told a judge he can't appoint a neutral expert to manage the public release of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell case files. The Justice Department also said Congress can't step in. A new CNN poll in Georgia found President Trump underwater with voters, including independents, as 2026 campaigns ramp up. Republicans say the numbers could influence key Senate and statewide races. Starting February 1, TSA will charge $45 for its Confirm ID option if travelers arrive without a real ID or other accepted identification. The agency says extra verification may still cause delays at security. The White House warned CBS that President Trump would sue if his interview was edited, according to reports. CBS aired the 13-minute segment uncut, raising concerns about newsroom independence. In Minneapolis, parents started volunteer patrols to escort students to and from school as ICE operations continue near campuses. Organizers say they're trying to protect kids and avoid confrontations. Iranian protesters say they surged into the streets after President Trump promised U.S. help, then felt abandoned when he later suggested Tehran would ease repression. Rights groups say killings and arrests soared. President Trump threatened new tariffs on European allies unless Denmark allows the U.S. to buy Greenland. Several Republicans warned the pressure campaign could damage NATO ties and spark a wider trade fight. Virginia Gov. Abigail Spanberger asked top University of Virginia board leaders to resign and then appointed 27 new members to major public university boards. The move shifts control and resets campus governance. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. The U.S. military said an airstrike in Syria killed an al-Qaeda operative tied to an ISIS ambush that killed 3 Americans. Officials said they targeted him while trying to limit civilian harm. New Orleans police say a gunman opened fire inside Dooky Chase's restaurant on Friday night, killing 1 man and wounding 3 women. Investigators called it a targeted attack and are searching for the suspect. The man charged in Charlie Kirk's killing asked a Utah judge to disqualify prosecutors over an alleged conflict of interest. The judge has not ruled, and a follow-up hearing is scheduled. In Minneapolis this week, pro-ICE activists clashed with anti-ICE protesters outside a federal building as immigration raids intensified. Police separated the crowds after fights broke out, and city leaders warned tensions could keep rising. A new CNN survey in Georgia finds voters are skeptical of President Trump's economic claims and split on his job performance. Analysts say the numbers could shape 2026 races in the battleground state. The Justice Department is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey over claims they obstructed immigration enforcement. Subpoenas are expected, and both officials said the probe is political intimidation. DHS is moving to deport 2 men who say they witnessed an ICE detainee die during a struggle with guards at a detention camp. Lawyers warn removing them could complicate investigations into the death. Abigail Spanberger was sworn in as Virginia's governor on Friday, becoming the state's first woman in the job. She signed a slate of executive orders and called for bipartisan action on schools and jobs. Federal prosecutors told a judge that 2 lawmakers can't seek a court-appointed monitor for the Jeffrey Epstein files release. The Justice Department says they don't have standing because they aren't part of the case. The TSA says domestic flyers without a real ID or another accepted form of identification will pay a $45 fee starting February 1. Officials say the rule is meant to speed up security checks.